Let me ask you something. Do you ever think about death and feel scared? Do you wonder what will happen after you die? You're not alone. Fear of death is one of the most common fears people have. But in Buddhism, death is not something to fear. It's something to understand, accept, and even embrace. In this video, we're going to explore why you should not fear death, based on simple but powerful Buddhist teachings. These ideas can bring you peace, clarity, and freedom, not just when facing death, but in how you live your life today. Let's begin. 1. Death is a natural part of life. Buddhism teaches that death is not the opposite of life. It is a part of life, just like birth, aging, and change. All conditioned things are impermanent. They arise and pass away. Buddha. Everything in the universe follows the law of impermanence. Trees grow, then fall. Flowers bloom, then fade. People are born, and one day they pass away. This is not a mistake. It is the natural rhythm of life. We suffer when we try to deny or fight this truth. But when we accept it, we find freedom. Why this matters? When you see death as natural, not wrong or unfair, you stop fearing it. You realize this is part of the journey, not the end of it. Practice tip. Each day, reflect gently on this phrase. Everything that is born will also pass. This is not to create sadness, but to grow wisdom and peace. 2. Clinging to life creates suffering. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. This includes clinging to life itself. Many people fear death because they are attached to their body, their relationships, their status, their achievements, their identity. But all of these things are temporary. This body of mine, one day, will be lying lifeless. Why should I cling to what is not truly mine? Buddhist reflection. When we understand this, we begin to let go of our tight grip, not in a hopeless way, but in a wise, peaceful way. We can enjoy life more deeply because we are not afraid of losing it. Why this matters? Letting go doesn't mean you stop living. It means you live with lightness and awareness. You stop fearing the end and start cherishing each moment. Practice tip. Meditate on the impermanence of the body. Feel the breath come and go. Realize this breath is here now, and one day it won't be. Let that make you more present, not more afraid. 3. The mind is not the body, and it continues. Buddhism teaches that we are not just our physical bodies. The mind, or consciousness, is a stream that continues, even after death. This is known as rebirth. Just as a candle flame is passed to another candle, so too does the stream of consciousness continue. Buddha. When the body dies, the mind does not disappear. It moves on to another form, shaped by past karma. This isn't about fear. It's about continuity. Death is not the end. It's a transition. Like the seasons, you change form, but you don't vanish. Why this matters? If you believe death is the end, it feels final and terrifying. But if you see it as just another step, it becomes peaceful. You realize, I am more than this body. I am the awareness behind it. Practice tip. Reflect on the idea of rebirth, not as a belief, but as a perspective. Ask, what kind of seeds am I planting now that will carry into what comes next? Live today in a way that brings peace to this life and beyond. 4. Remembering death helps you live fully. One of the most powerful practices in Buddhism is Maranasati, awareness of death. It may sound sad or scary at first, but it's actually a way to bring clarity and joy to your life. Of all mindfulness practices, mindfulness of death is supreme. The Buddha. When you remember that life is short, you stop wasting time on anger, jealousy, regret, distraction. You stop taking people for granted. You stop postponing joy. You begin to live more intentionally. Every moment becomes precious, not because you're afraid, but because you're awake. Why this matters? Most people live as if they'll live forever. But when you know time is limited, you live with more love, attention, and meaning. Practice tip. Each morning, sit for 2 minutes and whisper, "This day will not come again. Let me live it fully." This will make you fearless, not fearful. 5. The ego fears death, but the true self does not. The part of us that fears death is the ego, the identity we build with labels. I am this name. I own this house. I have this career. I am this body. But Buddhism teaches that this ego is not the true self. The true self, your inner awareness, is empty, spacious, peaceful. It doesn't begin or end. There is no solid self. Realize this, and fear falls away. Buddhist teaching. When you let go of the illusion of ego, death becomes less scary. It's like a wave returning to the ocean. There is no loss, only return. Why this matters? You begin to live less from fear and more from peace. You don't need to protect the ego. You need to realize your true nature. And that nature is timeless. Practice tip. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, who am I really? Watch the thoughts that come and go. Notice that something is watching, and that something has no fear. That watcher is the true you. 6. Compassion helps you face death gently. One of the greatest gifts Buddhism gives us is compassion, for ourselves and for others. When we fear death, it's often because we don't know how to meet it with kindness. But compassion softens fear. When someone you love is dying, or when you face your own end, compassion says, "It's okay to feel this. You are not alone." This is part of the human journey. As a mother would protect her only child, so should we protect all beings, including ourselves, with compassion. Buddha. Compassion doesn't take away death, but it makes it gentler, warmer, and more human. It creates space for love, even in the final breath. Why this matters? Compassion transforms fear into connection. When you see death through loving eyes, you see beauty in the full circle of life. Practice tip. When you feel afraid, place your hand over your heart. Say, "May I meet this moment with love." You can also say it for others. May all beings feel peace in their final moments. 7. Death teaches you what truly matters. In the rush of daily life, we forget what's important. We chase money, status, approval. We hold grudges. We worry about small things. But death brings us back to the truth. In the end, what matters is love, wisdom, peace, kindness, presence. This life is precious. Don't waste it. Buddhist reflection. When you live with the awareness of death, you don't fear it because you've lived well. You've used your time wisely. You've loved deeply. You helped others. Death is not something to fear. It is a mirror that helps you live more beautifully. Why this matters? Facing death doesn't take away joy. It makes every smile, every sunrise, every breath more meaningful. You begin to live not just longer, but truer. Practice tip. Ask yourself weekly, if this were my last day, what would I change? Then make one small shift. Even a small change brings you closer to peace. Final thoughts. Peace is stronger than fear. Buddhism doesn't promise that death will be easy, but it offers something better than denial. It offers understanding. When you embrace the truth of death, you live more fully. You love more deeply. You fear less and awaken more. You realize that death is not the enemy. It is a teacher. It is part of the path. It is a reminder to live, love, and let go again and again. So don't fear death. Walk toward it with awareness, compassion, and peace. That's what it means to truly be alive. Thank you for watching BodhiRipple, where ancient Buddhist wisdom helps you live with peace and clarity. If this video gave you comfort, insight, or a new way of thinking, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us in the comments, what is one thing about death that feels less scary after hearing these teachings? We're building a peaceful, honest, loving community, and your voice is welcome. Don't stop here. Watch our next video to explore more Buddhist teachings that bring light to every part of your life, even the hard ones. Until next time, breathe gently, live mindfully, and remember, there is no death for those who are awake.